Hello, everybody, and welcome to Live with Prima. My name is Limor Webber, and tonight we're going to be making a fabulous Halloween layout. And so I'm going to switch camera views, and we will get started on this super fun project. So let me know, can everybody see me okay? Can we see? Yes? If not, you just let me know, okay? That would be really, really fabulous. So we are going to create this really fun mixed media Halloween layout. Now, what you'll notice is I'll kind of talk about how I come up with some of these projects. And, I just want to talk to you a little bit about composition and simply that the fact that, we always want to find um, themed stickers and things like that to help us create our layouts, but we don't always need them. Something that I love about Prima is that some things, a lot of what do you call them? Collections are not actually themed. So you can use them in so many different ways, and just add mediums to really create and flowers to make them into whatever theme you want them to be. So I'm going to use a couple different collections, and I'm going to start pulling my materials out and show you what I will be using to recreate this fabulous layout. Okay, so let me just pull them out as they're literally right behind me. And so a couple things. One of the collections that I will be using tonight is the Engraver collection, one of my absolute favorite collections that Prima's ever come up with. And I'll be using Engraver, and I'll be using pieces of the Sunrise Sunset collection as well. So I'll show you. I'm just pulling it out. Of course, all my paper's on the bottom of this box. So this is the paper that we'll be using tonight. This is the back side, and this one is called White Hot, and we'll be using this side. Does it not look like total Halloween paper? This is Anna's collection, so really fun in the sun. And we'll be using several different other things which I will show you throughout. But to get started, I'll show you as we go along because I think it'll be easier that way. That's usually how I like to do it. Okay, so I'm going to put this one off to the side and this on the bottom so that we can get started. Sorry about that sound. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with this layout, or this paper in particular. I'm going to go ahead and take my paper trimmer. Just like so. And I just absolutely love it. And you don't need to do a whole lot to this layout, to this paper, because it's already so inked up. But one of the things I do want to do is maybe tone down the edges just a tiny bit. So in order to do that, I'm going to use some gesso, and you guys already know, I'm really loving this Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft gesso. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. I love the consistency. I love the way it covers. And I'm going to use a brush. Any old brush will work. I just washed my brushes. Can you guys believe that? It's like a miracle. It is an absolute miracle that I washed my brushes. They're still a little bit stiff. And what I like to do, the reason I have this here is because I like to put a little bit of water in here, because sometimes I like to water down my gesso just a tiny bit, and I think it really helps. Can you guys see okay? I find like there's a little bit of a shadow, maybe. Maybe I'll pull this up just a tiny bit. Okay. I'm not sure why there's a little bit of a shadow for you guys, but anyway, there's plenty of light here. So I'm just going to add just a tiny bit more water and really water this down. Grab a little bit more gesso and almost make a nice little watery paste. Okay. And I love the wideness of the jar. I do use Liquitex as well, but I kind of like to play with the wide jars a little bit more lately. So now that I have kind of that really nice little watery paste, I'm going to go ahead and just take some of it off my brush. Oh, is it? Are we having lighting issues? Just a second. Just give me a moment. I'm going to see if I can do something. Is that a little bit better? How's that? I'm trying. Okay, so once I have that, I take a little bit off my brush, just like that. And then I'm just going to very lightly go around the edges of my layout. And with my finger, I can rub some of them as well. Okay, just like that. And it just tones down the dark just a tiny bit, okay? Because sometimes I find these layouts can be a little bit too dark. So that's all I'm doing. It's just a little bit, and then with my fingers. And I know I did quite a bit on the dish, but I'm going to use it later anyhow. So, and you'll find that there's a transparency to gesso a little bit. So once it dries, you'll still see, be able to see things through it, but it won't be so like in your face. Okay, so just like so. I'm going to set that to the side. So I'm just going to give this, these mats a quick wipe down so that I'm not getting my stuff absolutely everywhere. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to bring my layout back. Now, the next thing that I want to do is, I've already done this, but from the Engraver collection, I've gone ahead and I have a lot of different scraps from different projects. You know, all these are so much fun to play with. So tons of like different little scraps here and there. And the same thing from different projects from my sunrise, sunset collection. Okay, so lots of different scraps, and I love that. And so what I've done already, so that you don't have to painfully watch me do this, is I've taken and I've cut up, and I'm just grabbing it, it's just right beside me here. I've cut up a whole bunch of different strips, just like this. I'm not going to use them all tonight. However, I've just cut a whole bunch of them so that I can play around with them. And so what we're going to do is the first layer is we're going to make a really fun little collage on here. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to move this off to the side. And one of the things that we're going to use, one of the mediums, there's two different things that you can use. Either a gel medium. This one's Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft Gel Medium. Or you can use Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1. And this is Beacon. Okay. And so either one, it doesn't matter. And you're just going to start by layering some of these fabulous pieces. So I'm going to start with this one, and I just kind of tear. And so let's start with, let's see if our glue is going to work tonight. I left my glue open the other day, which I don't ever recommend you doing. Yeah, this one is just not working for me. Do I have another one? Do I have the zip dry? Will this one work? Nope. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see, do I have another one? Let's use some gel medium. Okay. So I've got that. And nothing like something embarrassing happening on the show like that, right? And this works just fine, actually. Sometimes it's even easier to use gel medium on your layouts. Okay, so just like that. And start the layering process. You guys say process, I say process. You say tomato, I say tomato. Right, isn't that how it goes? And just like so, we're gonna cut some of it up. And we're gonna almost create an L-type effect, all right? And it doesn't really matter. You can use this with any old scrap paper. This is a really fun scrap paper technique. You know what I mean? And half of this you're not going to be able to see anyway. So I wouldn't worry too much about, you know, what you're going to see. But as long as you have a little bit of orange on there. And as you can see, I'm just kind of layering the pieces together, right? just like so. And I really want to grab, one of my favorite pieces is these awesome um, rulers, and it's from one of the papers, and I love that. This is a really fun layout. It's one of those layouts that I really enjoyed making. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing right on the top there. Just like that, overlapping the papers. Really fun. You don't have to be like super, what's the word, anal about it. Is that a bad word? Probably shouldn't use that word. It's not a very nice word. Sorry if I offended anyone. Just like that. And maybe we need a little bit more of this kind. Okay. Because we need a little yellow on there. See how it's coming together? How Halloween-y it is already? Two paper collections that are, you know, totally not Halloween-y, but they can be. They absolutely can be, can't they? And let's use, I really like this black one as well. This black ruler one. It's really fun. Okay, kind of like it about right there. Do we have any questions? I don't even know where I want this. I just play. I just play until I can kind of get the effect that I want. Most of this, like I said, is going to be covered, so I don't want to fuss too much. Sometimes I find myself fussing a little bit, which is unnecessary, very unnecessary. So don't fuss too much. Okay, just like that. Hubby is here, bringing me tea, you guys. Everybody say hello to Curtis. Hello, Curtis. Curtis, say hello to the ladies, please.
Hello, ladies.
Are you using your really deep manly voice?
Yes.
Goodbye, Curtis.
Bye.
What a dork. Total dork. Love that guy. I don't know where I want this. Maybe I wrote right here. I kind of want this underneath. I don't want to cover this too much. Okay. This part is kind of like the longest part, but almost done here. I probably don't even need to layer as much as I did, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of addictive. You'll find that you'll almost want to do a ton of it. So just like that. Fabulous, right? All right. So we'll put this brush to the side here for a moment. We'll close this up. It's almost easier than using glue, using this gel medium. I love this gel medium, you guys. I'm just going to heat set it a little bit, just very quickly. Okay, pretty darn good. I'm gonna go ahead and put these off to the side because I really don't need them anymore. And now what I want to do is I want to take, you can either take that same brush that you had before with a little bit of gesso, okay, and you're just gonna give this just a little bit of a whitewash. And remember I said, and use your fingers, you guys, okay? Remember I said that it dries kind of transparent. You can already see on here, it's just a little bit muted and you can still see the pattern through it. So you don't have to worry about covering your pattern too much, but you do want to tone it down just a tiny bit. Okay. And it provides a really nice layer for when we add a little bit of ink. Okay. So that's all. That's why I did this. Okay. So that's all this is for. And I just go ahead with my fingers and you can wipe some of that off. Okay. But you can still see the orange and the black. It's pretty. Okay. And then just a little bit right here. And I know you can't see it, but what you will be able to see is once I apply the paint, which is why I'm doing this right here. And so when I'm thinking about this layout, I already know that I want my concentration, because I've created an L, this is really where my eye is going to be centered or is going to be directed, which means there's so much here. I'm going to make sure that I don't have a whole lot here so that when you look at the layout, your eye goes straight to the center of the L. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm creating this layout. So now we're going to start the second layer we're going to actually give this a quick heat set. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 3 different paints. Here we go. I'm going to be using these 3 different chalk inks by Prima and designed by Engraver. And these are fabulous. I'm going to be using Black Coal, Old Road, and Rusty Keys. Okay. And so what I'm going to do, you want to have beside you a spray bottle. And so I'm going to start by spraying a little bit of water, not too much, just a little bit. Okay, and just rub it with your hand just a little bit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the this is Old Road, it's kind of that grayish Old Road, okay, and you're going to need just a water brush, okay, and I just apply a little bit of water right there. Okay. And you're going to move it around a little bit, and the gesso really does help move it around. So the more water you put, the more it kind of moves. Oops. Okay. Try to do this as quickly as possible so that it kind of moves and drips. Okay. So can you guys see that? Kind of like that. Kind of creates a fun little watermark, if you will. Okay, and remember you put gesso here, so you can add a little bit of water right here as well. And almost pool it a little bit. You can dry it up anyway. Okay. Just like so. And then move it around and have it drip. Just allow it to drip and just have some fun. Okay. Maybe right here as well. Just like so. Love, love, love. And then you're going to take your orange, which is Rusty Keys, and add a little bit of orange, and the same thing with your brush. You're going to play with it and have it run. And just have it mixed together. Have some fun. Okay, and you want to do the exact same thing, you know, throughout. We may play around a little bit more as we add a little bit more layers. It's kind of a process of layering. Process. I need to learn how to speak American. Okay, just like that. Okay, and have it drip down. Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of orange right here. And then use my spray bottle and have that drip just a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to put this away for just a moment. And I am also going to give this a quick heat set. Oops. Do you have any questions, anybody? I'm sure Carrie is very good at answering all your questions, so I'm not too worried. Not too worried at all. Okay, now the next thing that I'm going to grab is I'm going to take, if you don't, so there's a couple different options. I really like to use Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft gelatos. This happens to be the black one, which, oh, look, I'm almost out. Or by all means, you can use the black coal. You're not going to quite get the same effect, but, you know, close enough. But before I do that, actually, sorry, forgot one little step. You're actually going to take one of these palette knives, okay, and you're going to take a little bit of gesso, just a little bit, okay, and you're going to dip it, and if you have a dish, you can dip it just like that, and you're going to give the layout a quick swipe, like that, okay, maybe a couple, okay, just like so. Get it gunky, get it gunky, fabulous, and then give this a quick heat set. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black gelato, as I said before, and I'm going to apply some gelato around the edges, and then I'm going to take my fingers and rub them on there, and it kind of starts to create this really grungy, Halloween-y look on my layout, which is exactly what I'm going for, okay? And that gesso really picks up that black. It's really cool. Lots of fun little shadows. And if you find it's a little bit too dark for you, what can you add? Gesso. Just add a little bit gesso and you'll tone it right back down again. Okay? Gesso is your friend. It's always good to have on hand. Always good to have some gesso on hand. Okay? Most of this is going to be covered, so I'm not too worried. Like, this is a little bit too dark for me, so I'm going to probably go ahead and add a little bit of gesso, like right now. And oh, mix it together, and so it creates a kind of gray look. I love that. Okay, just like so. You don't have to go crazy on the gesso or on the gelato, but just a little bit to give it a really fun Halloween-y edge. Okay, just like so. It looks a little bit scary and grungy, but you know, once you start adding your layers, you'll really see how all this kind of fits together. Okay, like I said, have some gesso on hand in case you get really scared of the darkness of this. And I do have some of these lifting. I'm actually totally okay with that. Okay, totally okay with that. So don't you worry about that at all. Okay, so just like that, and I don't need to heat set this. The gelato is already nice and set, so we really don't need to worry about that at all. Now what I want to do is I want to start my layering process. So I'm going to start with several different embellishments, and then we'll start layering this up. Now I've taken this fussy cutted this out. Oh, sorry about that. Out of this paper, which is the Engraver collection calligraphy, and so I've taken this guy right out, and I've cut him out. Okay, hang on a second. I just dropped my glass mat. I was sitting right beside me. Sorry about that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my vintage trinkets, and I'm going to take, this one is 960285. I love these. These are so fun. So I'm going to take that out. Okay. Just like so. And I'm taking the big one, and I'm going to go ahead and place it right there, okay? And so I am going to need my glue for this. So my fabric pack, or my 3-in-1, better work. Oh, I have some 3-in-1 right here. We'll see how this puppy works. There's not much left in here, but come on, baby, come out. There we go. It's coming down. It's coming down. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Yep, sorry, you have to hear my singing. It's just the way it goes. Come to my shows, you hear my songs. Okay, just like that. Okay, you don't have to go crazy on the glue. Just get it on there. Just like so. Cute, 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 right? All right, I'm just gonna move this layout just for a second, and then what I want to do is I want to do the center, because I don't know if you saw my original layout. It's got these cool little gears right in there. So let's get some gears in there. And let's see. Let's do like one of these, and one of these, and maybe one of, I don't know, one of these, or something like that. Maybe you could do a clock hand just to make it different as well. Why not? It's kind of fun, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just layer these guys up. And I like to use the 3-in-1. It holds the metal really, really nice. Come on, baby. Am I running out? Come out, come out. Seriously? Seriously? Do I have to open another bottle? I don't think so, because there's some in there. Shoot. There we go. There we go. I better leave it sitting down. Okay, there's that one. Or upside down, I should say, not sitting down. Just like so. And then last but not least, this one. Just in the center right there. Love that. I'll lift it up so you guys can see. And then we'll put maybe this hand right in the middle, because I think it's fun. So I didn't have it in the other layout, so I just thought it'd be really, really fun. Right, can you guys see that? Really, really fun. And then what I want to do is I want to take my finger, but you can use a brush, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of gesso, and I'll show you. Right, just to, it kind of makes it pop. I know it's kind of hard to see in the light, but it does actually pop quite a bit more now. Okay, I'm going to turn this upside down so that more glue comes through. And then this is kind of the, you know, the placement of where this is going to go, but that's the first embellishment that's going to go on here. Okay, so we're going to put that to the side and let that gesso dry for a moment. And we're going to start some of our layering process. So the next thing that I'm going to grab is the fabulous, this is cheesecloth. That's what this is. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut some up. Just take some scissors. Take my Tim Holtzy scissors and cut some of this up. Okay, you don't need a whole lot. This should probably do you for the entire project. And you're going to start ripping some of this up. You're going to, because it's double layered usually. See, if you open it up, it's double layered. So then you can cut a little bit more up. Just like that. Okay. And then I like to just kind of, you know, rip it a little bit. I don't know how to explain it. Just kind of pull on it and get it really meshy and really fun. Okay, it's a little bit too big, so I'm going to cut some of that off. Just like so. All right. Fabulous, fabulous. And I'm just going to kind of place it. I'm not gluing anything down. I'm just kind of playing with the placement right now. but this is kind of where it's going to go, okay? And then the other ones are going to go throughout the layout underneath the other layers, but this one's going to go about right there. Now the next layer that I'm going to use is, I want to show you, this is a new Tim Holtz die, and I used my Sizzix to cut it up. For the purpose of time, I'm not going to use the Sizzix machine right now, but this is the die that I used. It's really, really fun. It's the new one. It's called Cobwebs. It's a Sizzlet, and the number on it is 658713. So much fun, okay? Really, really fun to play with, especially for Halloween. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut this up a little bit and have some fun with this. So cut it up about right there. And I leave some of these black ones, I kind of leave in. I think they're kind of fun. So I didn't pop them out on purpose. And this one's going to go about right there. And then this one's going to go somewhere around here. Okay, so these are going to go throughout the layout as well. And then I'm going to take another one of my sheets of paper from the Engraver collection, which I put aside. I'm going to take this guy right here. And this is, okay, we're going to cut it up. It's like a little postcard. Okay, so we're going to cut this guy up. You don't have to cut it perfectly. Just like so. And then you're going to take your black gelato, because you want things to be consistent, right? Is you're going to swipe a little bit of gelato on the edges and get it nice and gunked up. Otherwise, it's going to look kind of strange. You don't have to worry about the bottom actually too much, because most of it is going to be covered anyhow, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, and so here's another layer. Okay, we're starting our layering, as you can see, right? But I never glue anything down until I'm totally certain that this is how, how I want it, okay? So just like that. Now, the next piece that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my photo. So this is my photo right here of the two girls. Isn't that hilarious? And this is actually, what's funny? That's actually at Christmas time. The girls made a calendar for Grandma. And they dressed up in all different costumes for each day of the month, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mat this on the layout, or on the black cardstock. And I'm actually going to leave a larger matting. Okay, and I'm going to take my paper cutter. And I don't measure, FYI. If you've never seen my show before, I am not a measurer. I just play by ear. Okay, just like so. Now, in order to kind of make this kind of pop a little bit, I'm actually going to take one of my favorite, this is a Pentel gel white pen. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the photo, making little lines all around the edges of my photo. Okay, can you guys see that? I'm going to lift it up. Okay, almost like stitching, faux stitching, if you will. Some faux stitching going on. And this is for sure, the Pentel is one of my favorite gel pens, I have to admit. It's the one that I kind of like the most. And then I'm going to go around. Yeah, and you notice I'm not being very perfect. You don't have to be very perfect. Doesn't have to. This is already a grungy layout, a mixed media layout, so you don't have to be super precise about your lines. You can see how fast I'm doing them. Okay, just like that. Fabulous, right? And so that's going to go about like right there or so. Okay, the layout's starting to come together, but this just like really popped, right? And so now what I'm going to do is I can actually kind of go ahead and start probably gluing some of this down. And the other thing I want to do is, one of the things I'm using is some metal flowers by Prima. This one's already cut up, and I actually kind of want it cut up. So there's one of these, and this is from the Finnabar collection. And I have, because I do so many classes, I have extra pieces that are left over. So that's kind of what I'm using right here tonight. Okay, and I cut these up. And we have all the product listing on the show, and I just add a little bit of gesso to tone it down, tone that gold down just a little bit on both of them, and then just wipe a little bit with my hand. And then I'm going to go ahead. The brand of pen is Pentel Sunburst. Okay, can you guys see that? All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and start adding some layers. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to just put this off to the side for a moment to let it dry, and let's start adding some layers, shall we? So let's glue this guy up, and I tend to not put glue all the way to the edge so that if I want to tuck anything underneath, it's really easy to tuck. Okay, just a little trick of the trade. My trick of the trade. And I just kind of want to leave that there. Okay, just like so. And then I'm going to start adding a little bit of glue to the edges of my cloth. And I'm not going to gluing this down quite yet. Okay. And then this guy's kind of going to go right here. So I'm just going to put glue about right there. He's going to actually get tucked a little bit underneath. Okay, so we don't see those edges. Just like so. Fun, fun, fun. And then this guy, what I want to do is I kind of want him to pop out of the page a little bit. So in order for it to pop out of the page, I'm going to use my 3D foam squares. And because it's a Halloween layout, I like to use my black ones. I think that's really fun. So I'm going to add, because I really want it to pop, I'm actually going to add double the foam dots. And what I mean by that is I'm going to add a double layer on top of the ones that I've added. So I'm going to take this backing off, and I'm going to add, that's Carrie, I should turn my volume down. I think I said the brand of the pen, correct? I did. And there we go. And I'm now going to add a second layer on top of these guys, and it really raises it up. Okay. Foam tape works really great too. Whatever you have works really, really great. These ones happen to be by 3L, scrapbook adhesives. Yeah. Okay. Fabulous. And then I'm going to take that off. Oops. And last one. And then I'm going to kind of put that down so that this kind of gets tucked underneath right there. And now it's really nice and popped. And I really love that look. Okay, just like so. Right? It's starting to come together. All right. And I will add gesso to this in a little bit, but first I just want to keep building a little bit of layers. And now what I want to do is, I'm missing a little bit of cobwebs right here, so I'm going to go ahead and add some of my excess that I had, but I'm really going to pull. I want it to be stringy and fun. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to it. I'll add all those gobs on there. And remember I said, oops, I just put glue on there. Remember I said don't put glue all the way to the middle, so that you can go ahead and tuck all those fun little cobwebs on here. Okay, just like so. All right, we're going to add a little bit of black up here in just a moment. Now, what I want to do next is I want to keep building some of my layers. Now, this guy is called, it's an older, what do you call this, felt ribbon, okay, by Prima. It's a little bit older, 655350, okay, it's from 2009, and it's been in my stash, and you know what, I just love it, and this is my last one. That's it after this. There's no more Limor. And I'm just going to cut some of it up. I think it looks really fun and cool. And so this is kind of going to stick out of the edge a little bit. So I don't need all of that. I could probably use the rest in a different project. Okay, and what's really cool about these is that they're self-adhesive. How fun is that? So I can go ahead and just tack that right there. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do that down here. But before I do that, I want to tuck this guy, which I almost forgot, that goes right here. Uh-oh, I forgot to turn my bottle upside down again, see? Shouldn't do that. Come on, baby. Come on, work with me. Work with me. I think I need a new bottle. I think I need a new bottle. Do I have a new bottle? I do. Okay, let's check this one. I think this one's done for the day. Okay, let's open up a new bottle. I can't fiddle around with barely any glue left in the bottle. All right, here we go. New bottle. What was I doing? Oh yeah, look at that. Now it's nice and flowy and fun. This one goes right there. Okay, it's just another little element that goes on your layout. Now the same thing goes down here, except I'm going to take this guy right here, the edge of this guy, and I'm going to tuck him right underneath. And because it's got self-adhesive back, it's really, really easy to get him in there. Just like so. And it pops beautifully. We'll have something on top of there, so don't you worry. There's that. And then we need a little bit more cobwebs, right? So these cobwebs, I'm going to cut them up just a tiny bit. You don't need that much. Okay, and they're going to be about, you know, right there. Oh, now this one's really flowy. Now I'm going to complain about how flowy this is. Never be happy, huh? Never be happy. And then we have a little bit of cobwebs left, so I may as well use them. So we're going to put maybe a few down here. Just like that. Tuck a couple about right there. Okay. And then this one, we're going to move a little bit. We're going to move this one down just a bit, just so that you can see it a little bit better. There. That's better. Much, much better. And then these guys will just wait, because we'll do that in a moment. And you could totally save these guys and use them on a different project. So I definitely save those, absolutely. And then I'm going to take this guy right here that we did earlier and just give him a little bit of glue and start putting him down. And have that cobweb. And as you can see, you just want to have a little bit of that poking out. Okay, so some of those layers kind of start getting covered. And if you find that this is too much, just cut some of that off. Okay, just like so. Fun, fun, all right? And then you're going to take a little bit more of your fiber. Okay. And just rip a little bit. Just get like that really fun stringy stuff to kind of mimic cobwebs. And you're going to wrap it up on top of the clock a little bit. Okay. A little bit, and have him, this is why I didn't glue this down, so I can kind of have that come over the top and almost have some cobwebs right there. And we'll leave that because I'm going to, once I add the flowers, we're going to tuck that away. And then I just cut this little piece off. Okay. Just like that. And then you can go ahead and just open some of these guys up and make it a little bit more transparent. And I'll just lift it up a little bit so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Okay, so layers, layers, and more layers. All right. So now we're going to start, we're going to do the stamping at the end because that's usually how I do it. You can do it whichever way you want. If you like to do the stamping before, that's fine. Last but not least of the metals is this one. And this one goes about right here. Right, just in the middle right there. Perfect, perfect. And then one of my favorite pieces, I love this so much. This is those wood icons. I know you Australians have a much harder time finding these, so I'm really sorry. I get messages kind of about these all the time. So I know you guys have wood issues. And this one is 960223. And one of my favorite ones in particular is the ruler on here. And I love these little boxes too, what they come in. Prima did such a good job at designing these. Whoever designed these is a genius. Genius, I tell ya. And then I'm just going to go ahead and break these off, just like that. Okay. And then I'll take my black, which is the black coal, and I'm going to ink it up. Perfect. And once I'm done inking that up, I'm going to take that brush that I had with the gesso and just give it a little rub. And what it does is it lightens it a little bit. Okay. And it makes it a little bit more gray. Okay, just like that. Makes it pop a little bit. And then you'll add some glue and put that right down here, just like so. Okay. Layers, layers, and more layers. Next is the flowers. Now, oh, the chipboard piece. This is one of the chipboard pieces from the Engraver collection. And you can use any chipboard piece. You can barely see it. It's just really meant for a layer. And I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of gesso on the edges here. Okay. And yeah, just like that. And then I'll just go, and this has actually an adhesive back. So I'm going to pull it off if I can with my horrible brittle nails. Kind of forgot about this little piece. This guy's going to go about right there. Okay. Just like so, just tucked. Everything kind of gives the layout a little bit of something, doesn't it? Now, like I said, flowers. I'm going to be using a couple different flowers as well as some leaves on here. And this, you guys will just fall in love with this. I know you. I know all of you. And so the flowers I'm going to be using are from the Engraver collection. This one is 564414. All right. And so I'm going to cut 3 of them. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And I'm going to grab this one. It's an older collection, but I love to use older collections with new. It's called Mari Collection Reflections 548575. Okay. I'm going to sneeze, I think. Oh my goodness, I can feel a sneeze coming on, you guys. I'm just grabbing all my orange ones in here. Orangey ones, just those. Okay? Just like so. And then I'll just put these right back in there. Fabulous. Now we're going to start that layering process that we were talking about. So start with this one. And this one's going to go about, you know, right there. Let's put these ones off to the side just for a second. And then with this one, what I like to do is I kind of actually like to, I actually don't need this one, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and separate these because it's fun and you can. You guys are like, what is she doing? Don't worry. It's like you'll have 2 flowers at the end, okay? Now you have 2 flowers. How fun is that, right? So this one's going to go here and this one's going to go here in just a moment. Now with these guys, this one is going to get opened up, and I love these because they're like wired. Can you guys see that? Is the lighting really bad today? Yes, it is. I'm not sure what's going on, but they're really, really fun. Okay, they're wired and they kind of have like an orangey middle. Okay, and so you want to kind of open them up, this one, as much as possible because it's going to be kind of popped open, staring up at you. So we're going to tuck that right there, and we're going to add the glue right there. Okay, just like that. Almost underneath that wood, kind of, sort of, just like that, and just hold it for a minute. Okay, let it just adhere to the page for a second before you go ahead and start adding another layer. So it's heavy, so it's going to fall. Okay. Questions, anybody? Probably lots. And now with this flower, it's kind of ratty, right? But what I like to do is I kind of fold it up. So I kind of put a little bit of glue in the middle, just like that. Almost fold it, scrunch it up, put a little bit of glue right there. Whoa, that's very stringy. And kind of tuck it right there. Just like so. And if you have glue gobs, don't worry because it's a Halloween layout and it's actually kind of fun to have those little cobwebby glue strings. So it kind of goes perfectly with that layout. Okay, so now you have like this fun scrunched up flower that goes perfectly behind that flower. Okay, so there's that one there, and then this one will get tucked underneath here after I put these two fabulous flowers. So with this, I'm going to cut a little bit of that off and then open them up a little bit. Okay, and then start gluing these guys down. Just like so. And you can always play with them and open them up a little bit more as you wish. These are so much fun to play with. They've become one of my absolute favorites for sure. Okay. Whoa. My glue is very flowy today. I go from not having enough glue to very flowy glue. You know how it is, right? Never a happy medium. And then this one will kind of get tucked right there. Okay, kind of get popped right there. Can you guys see that? Fun, right? Let me just grab a baby wipe because my hands are so sticky I can barely grab anything at the moment. But my favorite part is what's coming up next, and this is just way too much fun. I'm going to pull this off to the side just for a moment, and I'm going to take these fabulous new Optimist Collection leaves, and this is called La Tiza. And La Tiza, if you don't know, means chalk in Spanish. And it's 571252. And we're going to grab, I had already done one, half of one, and there's another one right there, and I'm going to show you how I did this. Okay, I don't know if you can even see on my other layout. Do you guys see the leaf? And I don't know if you guys can get close enough to see this, but it says boo all across. And so all I did, you guys, is I took my leaf, and there's half of one, which I'll use half. And I just started, let me see if I can zoom in just a tiny bit. Okay. And I went ahead and literally just started writing boo all across. And you don't have to be very perfect, but these are chalk leaves. And you will be so addicted to draw on them and paint them and do lots of chalky, fun goodness. Can you guys see that? How they pop? How fun is that? You can alter your leaves. Fun, 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 right? I'll go as fast as I can here. We're actually doing really great for time, so I think, let's see, yeah, really, really great. Because we're almost done. We don't have a whole lot more to do. Just some stamping, a little bit more inking, and we're good. Do you have any questions? Okay, and I'm not worried about the bottom because that's gonna get tucked in anyway. So I don't care too much, and I'm just gonna move these off to the side, bring my layout back, and then the big leaf is gonna go right underneath here. And in fact, I'm going to kind of curl it a little bit and have that tuck right in underneath that flower, and that right there. And so do you guys see that pop? And I'm going to just press down right there, have it adhere to the page, and bring this down. Can you guys see? Fun, right? And then I'll move this up just a tiny bit there. Is that okay? And then I'll take that second one and tuck that one right underneath here. It's really great to cut your leaves so you don't waste a whole lot. Just tuck that right there. You can pull it out just a little bit if you find that you don't see it. Just open the petals a little bit, and then you don't have to worry about the edges showing. Okay. And then every once in a while, if I want my leaf to pop, I go ahead and add a little foam dot to it, and it actually helps it pop a little bit off the page. Okay, it adds a little bit of dimension. Can you see that? So much fun, so much fun. We'll add a little bit of gesso, but let's do a little bit of some fun stamping. I didn't even use this flower. Let's do a little bit of fun stamping because I know some of you are anxious about the stamping. Okay, so we'll use, I grabbed an extra one. I'm not sure why. I may use it, but one of the stamping sets that we'll use is 551056, and I love, love, love this one. I'm just so in love with it. So we'll use this one, and we're going to use this brick one, and it's 551001. Okay, and so I'll start with this one just because, and I leave it on this plastic right here. Okay, and I'm going to take Old Road, which is kind of like that gray, if you will, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it just like this. I don't want too much, and I'm literally going to tuck this right underneath here. I don't know why I do this at the end always. It's kind of like my thing, and I kind of roll. And I just want a little bit of the edge to show. I don't want too much, okay? Just like that. And it's fun. It's very mixed media-y, and that's kind of what I'm going for. And then I'm just going to do the same thing right there. And it gives it a really nice brick look. Can you guys see that? I know the lighting makes it a little bit hard, but anyhow, that's the whole idea. Okay, just like that. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I'm going to take just a little bit more and add a little bit right there. And it gives the page a little bit of texture. That's really what it does. I don't know if you can see it here. Is that a little bit easier to see? It gives it a little bit of texture, and that's really, really fun. Okay, and you can continue to add a little bit more throughout the layout if that's your choice, but I'm going to add a couple more stamps, so I don't really need that. I'm going to add this one too. This one is 550929. I kind of like the script on it, so I just want to go ahead and use it. I'm not sure I had it in my original layout. It was kind of hard to see when I created. Sometimes I just create and forget how I created something. I think I did because I can see it on there. Just like that, and it adds really fun little, can you see that script right there? Sorry, the lighting's a little bit off tonight there. And then maybe just a little bit right there. Okay, little script here and there. Fabulous. Now my absolute favorite stamp right here. Okay. This one right here I'm going to use. And I'd like to use, you can use anything. We can use black coal. And I don't usually use a stamping block because number one, I'm lazy and I don't like them that much. Not a big stamping block kind of girl. Okay, and I'm going to tuck that right there and then give it a quick stamp. Ta-da! Okay, just like that, just like this layout right here. Okay, love that. And then I'm going to take, in this collection, there's this cute little bird. It's tiny, tiny little bird. and I really like it. I think it's adorable. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of black coal and have him kind of flying up in the air, just like that. And then I believe I put some bird on here. Do I even have a bird? Or not a bird, a key. Do I even have a key on here? Who knows? Who knows? I don't think I used any other. Oh yeah, here it is. I see it. It's right on the bottom. Little key. Okay. And this key can kind of go right here. And then one more this way. Right there. Just like that. Can you guys see that? So much fun. Just a little bit of stamping, right? Now we have one kind of last little step, which is super duper fun, is kind of grunging everything up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my gesso that I had right here and just give some of these flowers a little bit of a tone down for one. Okay, can you guys see that? Okay, just a little bit. And then also a little bit of my cobweb, just to tone it down and give it a little bit of white. Okay, not too much, but just they do need just that tiny little bit. Okay, and maybe even this a little bit, just like so. This can kind of get tucked right there. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something super duper fun. Is you can do this with any acrylic ink. I happen to use Liquid Tech. This is like that extra fluid black ink, but by all means you can use anything you want, and especially if you dilute acrylic paint, that works really great. And what I like to use is my fan brush, and I'm going to dip it in here, okay, just like so. And I've done this technique many times before on the show, so this is nothing new. And then I'm going to go ahead and flicker away from your computer, by the way. Okay, just like that, and you have some fun little droplets. If you want to get some larger ones, dip it and then really hit it hard, and you'll see. See, you get more of a bigger ones. And then I'm going to do the same thing right there. And then a little bit on the corner down here. Okay, just like so. And then next, I'm going to close this up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of gesso, and I want it to be nice and runny and thick. Okay, just like so. And I want it to be nice and gobby. I'm going to add a little bit of water just to make it slightly more watery so it's easier to splatter. And I'm going to do the same thing, but just with any old brush, and just have it splatter. And you'll find the splatters are a little bit larger when you do it this way, which is kind of what I want, almost gobs. I want gobs, just like that, okay? There, and I want some gobs right here. Hopefully my computer's not getting destroyed at the moment, just like that, okay? And then a couple more down here. And watch your photo when you do this, by the way. Okay, just like that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'll take my heat gun and give it a quick heat set. Any questions? I still have to do the title, and that's it. Do you have any questions? I'll have to tuck this underneath so it doesn't come up. So we'll glue this down in a little bit. So one of the things I did is when I created this layout, I created it a little bit more towards the left, and this one I created a little bit more towards the right. So I'll find that my title probably won't fit here, but there's nothing wrong with it being up here. So I'm going to take, this is the really fun alphabet stickers. These are the canvas ones, and they're so much fun, from the Engraver collection, 562 854. And we'll just add the title, okay? And the black ink is extra fluid acrylic ink by Liquitex, okay? That's all that is. We're going to put Boo right here. B O O. Okay. I love that. That's so much fun. And then we'll just take one of these guys. Okay. And the inside of the B. And we'll have that be the exclamation mark. Okay, so you can always get really, really creative with these. Isn't that fun? Fun, fun, fun. Did I forget anything? I think that's pretty much it for the layout. Do we have any questions, anybody? Let me switch cameras, and I'm going to make a couple announcements before I stop the actual recording, but I'm just going to change cameras. There we go. Can you guys see me okay? So a couple announcements, a few announcements. For those of you that don't know, and I'll answer questions in a moment. For those of you that don't know, I am coming to Australia in November, and I'm super duper excited. Lots of fun. Lots of places are either sold out or getting close to sold out, and we still have several spots in the Sydney location. So if you're from Sydney or you know somebody from Sydney, go ahead and you know, send them over to my site. On my blog, you will find all the locations for my Prima tour. Okay, so you can go ahead and sign up if you are from Australia. It'll be tons of fun. The kits are loaded, and what's so amazing is that all the projects that I'm using are all with the brand new releases. And some of them I know that even stores here have not even gotten it, which is the Optimist collection. So pretty amazing, you guys. Okay. Another announcement, Anaheim, January 8th and 9th. It's almost full, you guys. So if you want to come to the Art Venture in Anaheim, you better book fast because those spots are almost full. Okay. And Canada Art Venture has been announced. So I'm really excited because I get to go to that as well with Carrie and Jamie. And it's April 11th to the 13th. So go ahead, and spots are already filling. So there is a limited, there's only like 80 spots for this event. Okay. So you might want to get your spot if you're interested, or it's gonna sell out. Next class, Jamie, she's gonna do a daily art journal on October 15th, okay, at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And let me see, do I have anything else on here? Did I miss anything? I don't think so. You know, this month we have some pretty fabulous projects. I'm actually doing another show as well this month on the 22nd. So go to the livewithprima.com site, and you'll get to see all the fabulous projects. So go ahead and head on over there. And if somebody wants to, Carrie, are you able to put my blog post for the Australia classes so that people know where to go to? That would be simply fabulous. Or if somebody else can go to my blog and find it, that would be great. I think that's it for announcements. So for those of you that are watching the recording will stop now. So thank you for watching. And for those of you that are sticking around, I will answer some more questions.